Hi, Year 10s. I'm just going to talk you through the task you're doing this week. I'm using a theme from an A-level exam paper. So this is not a theme that you're doing. So this is just an example. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk you through a brainstorm that I've done already. You should already have a brainstorm for your theme in your books. So this is my example. So the theme I'm using is nighttime. And it's not a complete brainstorm. I kept it fairly straightforward just to keep this simple, but it'll give you an idea. So nighttime's the theme. What kind of things have I thought of? Well, in the brainstorm, if we look over here, we've got things to do with the moon. This was one of the first things I thought about when I thought of nighttime. I thought of the moon, which then led me on to ideas of religion, worship, religion. Well, I knew that the Druids have a lot of connections with the moon and the sun, so I put down the Druids. Ancient religions connected to Druids. Also, the moon, in connection with myth, is also in connection with religion, is connected to the idea of myths, and myths could be also connected to ideas of stories, children's stories. So there's all sorts of stuff around that. The cow jumped over the moon, is that right? Yeah, so there's stories like that from there, so I put that in there. From another thread of there, I've got night, dark, light and dark, and then street lights. So I'm making these connections, yeah. Then I was thinking, well, street lights, what does the city look like under street lights? Well, the light has a kind of a yellowy tinge, so yellow light I put there. Another thread I've got here is the word darkness, just the word darkness. So the idea of dark matter, this thing that scientists talk about, which I know nothing about, but could be explored further. Darkness is scary sometimes, so I've got the word scared. I know a little bit about the idea of Gothic, things being Gothic, dark. There's a whole kind of style of artwork, which some of you will know a lot about, which is also connected to music as well, Gothic. And then connected to that is horror films. Horror films are often a bit cheesy, yeah, some of them. So I've put that sort of cheesy horror films, especially those horror films from the 1970s. They're really cheesy, more funny than they are scary. But there you go. So I've got all sorts of little connections there. And on the other side, I've got sleep. Lots of things to do with that. Insomnia, bad temper through lack of sleep, anxiety through lack of sleep. There's a thing called circadian rhythms, which is connected to our patterns of sleep, sleepwalking, and then from sleep, dreams, a very obvious connection from sleep to dreams, nightmares, surrealism is connected with the idea of dreams. All right, so there's all these different things there. So what are we going to do with that? How are we going to develop ideas further from that? Well, you just got to start taking one of these threads and exploring it a little bit further and start to think about how you could do visual ideas from that. So if we take sleep as an example, we'll see what words that we have there. So dreams. So for instance, okay, well, that's easy, isn't it? If dreams, we could think about dreams that you've had. Yeah. So you could start. So one task could be to literally just document a list of different dreams, the weirdest dreams you had. So you could put that down. We've got the word nightmares down there, so you can write down any nightmares as well. How could you visualize that? Well, that's easy, isn't it? Well, you literally just draw from memory, and this is fine for GCSE. You don't always have to draw from observation. You can draw from memory as well. You can do little diagrams, and what do those dreams look like? What images, what surreal, strange images do you remember from your dreams? So that could be one thread, okay? But then you might say to yourself, well, I don't remember my dreams. Okay, so that's probably not a good one to do then. So let's have a look at other threads we've got here. Let's go back to sleep again. Anxiety. What does anxiety look like? Okay, well, not sure. Well, maybe have a look online. Have a look at what the face does. What happens to the face when someone's anxious? Maybe draw images of people with anxious faces. Think of different situations where people might get anxious. Maybe a boxer before a fight, or a sportsman about to go into a very important game, or something like that, a singer about to go on stage. What kind of things would that make you think about? The idea of being nervous, maybe, yeah, anxiety. So bad temper, again, Try and visualize that. How can you visualize bad temper? What do bad tempered people do? Well, I don't know, they might break things, they might punch things, they might shout. Try and visualize some of those things, okay? All right. What about if we try another idea? Maybe that doesn't sound good to you, you're not interested in that. Well, let's have a look up here. What we got? Well, moon, religion, worship. Well, that's easy, isn't it? Visualize that. Obviously, stick an image of the moon in, find some good quality images of the moon, do some really good studies of the craters, the colours that we see on the moon. Find examples of myths, find examples of ancient religions, document those, write about those in your book. Okay, so just from this simple brainstorm here, we've had about, well, I don't know how many ideas I just came up with. There's probably about 5 or 6, 7, 8 different ideas there, and I could have gone on and on. All right, so you need to look at your brainstorm, you need to look at your theme and think how you could start unpicking that and getting visual ideas, doing drawings, writing things down, and just taking maybe one of these threads. See, this brainstorm has about 3 or 4 different threads in it. Taking one of those threads and really exploring it deeply and seeing where you can go with it. Okay? So I hope that helps. And show us what you've done by sending me images of your work, and I look forward to seeing them. Okay, see you soon. Bye.